Got it.
Hold on. You tell me when.
All right.
Here, I'll move.
Yeah, well, I'm just making sure that it's
Flag. No, that's sludge.
There we go. What's up, dark judges, desperados, and dudes in dick-shaped helmets?
Nope. You fucked that up.
How'd I fuck it up?
Desperados, dark judges, desperados, and dudes in dick
That's
shape.
what I
You
said.
transposed.
Oh, you're gonna derail the fucking intro
Fuck yeah.
for that.
Have you listened to us before?
All right. Hey, it's our fucking podcast. Apparently we don't give a fuck around here. Ooh, oh, you got me. I'm ready. Fucking let's fucking do this shit. What are we talking about? Tell them what they got, Heavy Metal Kid. I'll do it. We got fucking Judge Dredd. It was pretty good. After that, we got Chimpanzee. That was cool. After that, we got Hope. It was all right. Followed by some shit I didn't give a fuck about this week. And I don't remember what was the last one. Oh, old ass fucking Hershey. Finally, hey, finally an artist renders Hershey to not look like a fucking different character every week.
Is it old ass, fucking Hershey, or just old ass fucking Hershey, which means she's out pegging old dudes? What did you do?
Well, this week, I don't fucking know.
This week,
do your spiel. What do you got?
You just stepped all over my spiel.
I know how that feels, bro. I know how it fucking feels. You were coming at me.
Show me on the doll where
you were coming at me, and now I'm in Judge Priest mode.
Hey, wait. Well, go shoot some pedophiles. Get the fuck out of my basement. HMK had to do a work, and he has worked himself into a shoot.
Yeah. And people are already screaming wiener in the fucking chat.
I like how that's our thing now, and new people have no idea what the fuck.
Welcome. Yeah. Welcome to the fucking wienering here.
Where's the comma in that sentence?
For anybody who's new that's listening to this is a podcast with absolutely no fucking quality control. But guess what? We've been doing it for a long time, and we already got 3 people yelling wiener at us in the chat. So that means we have something right.
Any other way?
Oh, some days I think if we just push the 5% harder, we could be.
Have you seen? We have
516 follows.
Egregious amount of likes.
Doesn't make any sense.
Are y'all just fans of Mom Special Boys here trying to podcast? We have 5-star rating with 8 reviews.
So there's 5 fucking sick people out there.
You guys need some standards, and by guys I mean just everyone.
Canceled.
Well, once again, somebody would have to be listening.
Yeah, that's true. 5 people are listening. Hey, listen.
No, I mean of consequence.
There are literally 5 people in the chat, and my guess is it's probably the 5 people that went and liked this. Welcome, our fellow 5 people who give a shit about ourselves talking tonight. Hey, let's tell them what's in the Prog. What are you doing over there? You just pushing buttons?
Chelsea wants to know if we should be separated because you're just being aggro. And
I'm not being aggro.
You came in here with your dander all up, your big red monkey ass.
I'm sorry. You know what they call that where I come from? Coming in hot.
I got nothing.
I came in hot. Listen,
I've been sitting in my basement playing TurboGrafx.
Well, that's good. You know what?
This is going to be the best episode ever, says Douglas Morris. That would be the Helter Skelter episode, Doug. You got to go find it. HMK has a goddamn stroke.
I don't know if it exists. The Helter Skelter. Is it still up?
You know, some of our stuff is still up on Spotify.
Huh, that's weird. Maybe they just don't give a shit.
Did Podomatic charge you?
No, Podomatic tried to charge me, but I fucking got in there. And you know, man, Podomatic wasn't a bad service other than the fact that unless you paid $6 billion, you could only upload 5 things at a time.
Yeah, for that first year where they prorated us and we had the whole goddamn thing up all the time.
Yeah, because here's what happened with us and Podomatic. We were like, hey, man, this sucks because we're not making any money, A, and B, we're getting charged $119 a month. And they were like, oh, yeah, sorry, man. How about we do it for free for a year? And we're like, fuck yeah. And then it was like, haha, gotcha. You just got charged because you forgot. And they fucked us, but we fucked us. And so now we're over here on the free ass YouTube, but it's really not free because you know why? Because we pay for Zoom Pro like $19 a month. So
we're only paying for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
We got all that CER money coming in, man. I don't know what you're bitching about.
I know, man. Hey, first and foremost, most important, more important than this week's Prog, something exciting happening tomorrow. Monumental Day. Go ahead.
Happy birthday, Judge Jake Lynch. You did it.
Yep.
50. He's 50.
Yo, happy birthday to our 100% favorite Judge Dredd artist. And you can go back and find the episode. We've been repping Jake Lynch since the beginning as number one.
Ground zero.
Yep, favorite dude. And also turned out to be an actual good human being, friend of the show, tattoo artist for my beautiful Midnight Indicating Shame tattoo. And all that stuff just because he's a fucking good dude.
Speaking of Midnight Indicating Shame, you didn't bring it, did you?
Yo, listen to me. This is not.
This ain't that episode.
I'm not the one.
But you are. It's in your possession.
Look, man,
I would love to have it.
I could
house.
cut. It's listen, people. I'm going Paul Stanley for 1 second. Listen to this.
How you doing, people?
So Jake graciously sent my tattoo art and then put little dotted lines down the middle and did a piece for you of Midnight as well, because he knows we love Midnight. It's a little dotted line. I could cut it with scissors. And he's shaking his head no. I could cut it with fucking I have a cutting machine. What's that thing called?
It's a guillotine cutter.
I have a guillotine cutter. I could cut it with that. And he starts shaking his fucking head like I'm incapable of cutting a piece of paper.
Well, here's the two part of that.
Okay.
I've seen you work with your hands. It's a fucking shit show.
Okay.
2, so you cut it yourself, right?
Now,
if you do, now you have 2 pieces of paper which you're gonna fucking lose.
You know, I'll tell you what, man. I haven't lost the one piece of paper yet,
which is a goddamn miracle. It's been almost a year.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm gonna see you at Halloween. Why don't you fucking bring it back?
You know that ain't happening. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jake Lynch, and god damn it, Jim Boswell. I don't know when your birthday was, but did we miss it? Are we assholes? Because those guys are a pair.
Yeah, I didn't see it on Facebook. The only reason I saw Jake's birthday because he was talking about turning 50, which is now technically in the UK.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're in the past.
Okay. Yeah.
It's still a shit show in the past. I hope it's better in the future.
No, it's not.
It's not.
We're 40-ish. We're in our 40s. We're 40-year-old.
Our 40s are in us.
Yeah. I found, and I hope I'm sending this positive energy out to Jake right now in his 50th birthday. When I turned 40, it was much better than when I turned 30. When I turned 30, spent all night in the Anthrax mosh pit, woke up, couldn't move, could not get out of fucking bed. When I turned 40, spent all night in the municipal waste mosh pit, felt great the next morning. I feel like 40 is second win territory. 50 is best
prime.
Part of your prime. Yeah. There
Optimus or Amazon?
I'm going with Optimus, given the surroundings.
To provide a strong counterpoint, as soon as I turned 40, I started fucking falling apart.
Okay.
I've had 2 colonoscopies in the last fucking year.
Yeah, and that was before you thought anything was wrong.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, and I got to get one every fucking 3 years or less now.
Yeah.
Because my family genetics are shit.
Yeah.
So my ass is trying to kill me.
Yeah. My doctor asked when my last one was, and I said, actually this morning. And he said, really? And I said, yes, I do one every morning, sir. I don't need one from you. Thank you.
Well, here's real talk, a real talk moment for Cursed Earth Radio.
Uh-huh.
If you're listening to this podcast, much like us, you're probably fucking old. It's time to play a doctor to stick a camera up your asshole.
Not me, sir.
They
ain't got my ass on camera, and they never will.
Do it.
When I'm laying in my casket, and I'm there, and all the people are coming to well wish me. When Douglas Morris comes in, and Mac Anorak, and all the cool people fly in for the
I ain't flying nowhere.
Cursed Earth Radio funeral for HMK. You know what they're going to get up there and say? He did some good things. He did some bad things. He made some people smile. He broke some hearts. But there's one thing. HMK never had fucking pictures of his ass. No one ever got pictures of his ass. They never put them on the internet. Never had them.
It's not actually your ass. It's the inside of your ass.
Number 2, they ain't got my dick on film either. Because here's the thing. All these people sending dick pics out there, going to jail, fucking getting canceled, all this stuff. I'm so proud of the fact that I've never sent a dick pic in my life in this current climate. Guess what? Winning. Never send pictures of your ass or your dick out there. That's how you end up going out with someone at your funeral saying how good you did. You know what?
I don't.
He was a lot of things, but they didn't get his dick or his asshole on camera. There we go.
I'm threatening to make the colonoscopy photos the under CD image for our next album.
Well,
So enjoy that one, folks.
Yeah. Someone actually sent me photos of their colonoscopy. A person who I've never met, who likes my band, sent me that, a penis enhancer that looked used.
So he heard the rumors.
He sent me a leather helmet. He sent me Pogs. It was just like a collection of shit that didn't make any sense. But then in it was a folder full of colonoscopy photos.
I mean, mine are upstairs if you'd like to see them.
No.
Honestly, the procedure is nothing because you're fucking unconscious.
Yeah.
It's the night before and you got to drink the pipe cleaner.
Yeah, right.
And you're shitting yourself inside out.
Well, happy birthday, Jake.
Happy birthday.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I don't know. I barely can watch AEW anymore because it makes me fucking sad.
Yes.
But
makes me it's real makes me depressed.
Like I'm going back to Impact Wrestling at this point.
Oh god.
But you know, the new Halloween comes out tomorrow. So last night we watched Halloween. Tonight we're going to watch Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Finished up Halloween last night, switching channels, landed on AEW. Nyla Rose was backstage. Apparently she stole Jade Cargill's title.
Okay.
And somebody was challenging her. I can't remember. They won't be on TV in a month anyway.
Yes.
And Nyla Rose said, to quote that movie that Sylvester Stallone did in the mid-90s,
fuck her.
I am the law.
Well,
that was on AEW.
That's the worst wrestler of all time. I'm done watching AEW. Thanks a lot. Who was it? Nyla Rose?
Yes.
Get out of here, Nyla Rose, with your non-understanding Judge Dredd bullshit.
Well, I mean, it was the perfect quote for that shit show of a show.
Yeah, man. What a shame. What a shame. They've ruined it now with that Judge Dredd quote.
I heard the video game comes with a post-media scrum backstage fight option.
Yes.
Press X to bite. Nobody knows what the fuck we're talking about. So let's talk about something they know what the fuck we're talking about.
No, hey, there's a cricket in your house. Look at that.
Where's the cricket?
Right there. Don't kill it, you fucking asshole. Right there.
Oh, I've already killed 2 wolf spiders on here. Anyway.
It's okay.
So we are doing Prog 2303.
Yeah. And I may have been harsh about Swarm Enemy, this thing here, because I was.
You mean Enemy Earth?
Yeah, whatever. I was going in hot. I wasn't really. It's not really.
You came in a bad mood.
Yeah. Hey, the cover's fantastic. Looks good.
Did you read Droid Life?
Droid's Life is not in this. I would have read it, but it wasn't in this. It was actually it was an advertisement for some shit with a dude in some kind of football helmet looking bullshit. And I was like, okay, I'll read that when it comes out.
Storm warning. We're not going to read it. It's in the magazine. We never fucking read the magazine.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. We need to.
I don't want to go crush that cricket.
No,
I've literally killed 2 wolf spiders.
Well, don't kill the cricket. It's fine. He's nice. What's he going to do?
Well, you know, I love the fact that they've written another Judge Dredd story specifically for this podcast. We were calling for Burrito's death before it was cool.
Yep. Fuck that big-headed little prick. I am so tired of this weirdo showing up in these comics, showing up in these continuities. I don't like him anymore. I don't understand him. He weirds me out.
Burrito.
Yep.
I mean, you and Judge Logan are pretty spot on.
And I didn't not look at this. I didn't look at the title card. Who did the art for this? Because it's amazing.
Henry.
I love Henry Flint is he's like a weird art chameleon. You'll see a Henry Flint and be like, damn, look at that. Right. Then you'll see a completely different one. And it's just as amazing, but a different style.
Like
and this is
Zosser Full of Zilk, where it was Henry, but it was Henry switching gears.
This is amazing, Henry.
Fucking love this stuff.
It looks so old school. Henry Flint is in the part of his career where he's trying to draw everything like he's doing an indie comic, but he's doing an indie comic better than anyone ever did an indie comic. This is good stuff.
The same thing that draws me to Jake's art draws me to Henry's art. They're both very energetic. They're kinetic. They feel like they've got movement when they're just still images.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I fucking love it. I can't wait till whatever happens to Burrito happens to Burrito. Can we just cut to the chase where Dredd shoots him in the fucking head and we're done?
You know, I love this because we really get to see Dredd's fucking rage out.
He goes full fucking aggro. And it was like an innocuous question. What Dredd, what are your thoughts? I'll fucking tell you, brother.
Yeah, man. He cut a promo on this guy.
He did. And you know, Logan, after Dredd does his whole spiel, Logan's like, yeah, thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
He's that guy when you're making small talk and go, hey, how's it going? And they fucking tell you how you don't want anything, you don't want to hear any of this shit, but they tell you all this shit.
Now, see, I always respected that. Maybe that's because of my profession, but when I ask someone how it's going and they really tell me, I'm always like, wow, that was refreshing.
But if you're like asking somebody in the grocery store,
yeah.
You go, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
You don't want Joe giving the fucking Sermon on the Mount about East Meg.
I once was on a treadmill at a gym at a gym in a hospital that I worked at, and I got into a conversation with another employee, and I was running for an hour at that time.
You got all your cardio in for a year.
Yeah, well, and he spent the whole time standing next to me, talking to me, and I swear this is true. I was just like, yeah, and I'm jogging, yeah, and then all of a sudden, I kind of snapped out of it. When out of his mouth came, and look, I'm not saying that I'm not sexually attracted to my cousin, but would I try anything because she's pregnant? And I found myself in the middle of this conversation with this fucking dude that I barely knew, who's bearing his weird ass fucking soul to me about being sexually attracted to his pregnant cousin. But I don't know the context. So I don't know if it's a joke. I don't know if he's telling me the story about someone else. And I just had to fucking be like, and try to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Had it gone too far, and were you too scared to go? Can you clarify that for me?
I didn't want to know. I did not want to know. And so I just
So you were disassociating.
Yeah.
And that comment brought your soul back into your body.
It was pretty jarring. Yeah. This artwork is cool, man. Look at this great. I mean, this is like an amazing look.
I got one nitpick.
Yeah. No, here we go. Nitpick time.
Why the fuck is Hershey wearing high-heeled boots? Not Hershey, but Anderson.
Oh, there it is.
Why is Anderson wearing high-heeled boots?
Because it's called fashion, Johnny.
She's a street judge.
No, she's a side judge.
She still has to run down perps every now and then, right?
I've never seen it.
I can't imagine that's going to be easy to run perps down in.
I'll tell you why. Because it looks cool. It looks sexy. This is the sexiest version of her we've seen. And it's not like, it's like 1980s sexy.
Yeah, Farrah Fawcett. Farrah Fawcett bangs. No, I'm like, I'm so drawn into Henry's art. And I'm like, what the fuck with the high heel boots, Henry?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Just working out some Oedipus stuff on the page.
Someone's saying this sounds like a trailer park segment. Yo, I do have a horrific story about that workout place, but it is not appropriate for this episode because I feel like we've gone too far already. One day.
So the Saab side judges are coming to kill Burrito.
Yeah, good.
They're ordering takeout for Burrito.
I am so tired of that fucking weirdo. I don't like him. I don't like the looks of him.
I hope the horse survives.
He looks like a bobblehead Village of the Damned gone wrong, and I don't like it. Can you imagine? Listen, imagine where you're sitting here and that comes walking in. There's one option. Kill it.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, kill that thing, man.
We know its name is Buratino, but it's more fun to call him Burrito.
Well, because there's also enchilada energy in the last.
There is. Story. We got bookended here.
Yeah, we did.
So yeah, I'm excited because Burrito is going to be erased.
This is
I'm here for this.
This is such a pleasure of a story arc to read because we want Burrito to die. We think it's going to happen. The artwork is great, and it's still playing around in that all that fucking fallout, man. And maybe making a little bit of some things right about the whole fucking moon.
I think
have a look there.
Is Rob Williams' way of saying I'm sorry for the moon.
Well, he prominently puts the moon in the last panel.
We're killing Burrito for you. And I was like, great, just leave the horse.
Yeah.
And tell me he's some kind of genetic descendant of Ed. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, for sure.
Chimsky.
I'm so glad we got Chimsky's Law back. Man, what is it with fucking weird ass little kids?
Chet is a glorious idiot. Yeah. Did you see the graffiti?
Chet was there?
Chet was not here. Chet was there.
Yeah.
God bless him. God bless Chet.
I love this story. I like that we once again back to the Village of the Damned kids.
Yep.
It's just an issue full of weird ass Village of the Damned kids.
But their bullshit doesn't work on Chimsky, and I'm glad.
No, his monkey brain too smart. I think this manages to be like cutesy and also one of the most horrific things ever. Like these kids just being like, "Why don't you go kill yourself?" and having to watch people do it.
Yeah,
it's edgy.
I like it. I love a good Chimsky. I love his Justice Beatdown guy costume.
Thanks to Chet.
Yeah, thanks, Chet. He's just wearing 2 pairs of gloves, right? He's not. Those aren't like
I think
foot gloves with tread or anything.
I would think maybe that some part of Mega City they probably do make ape and simian-like articles of clothing, right? I mean, because there's a whole like population of monkey people.
Let's not go to Monkey Town right now.
Oh,
you're having a bad day. Yeah. We don't need to go down. Maybe you do need to go down to Monkey Town.
No, because what going down to Monkey Towns is you accuse me of wanting to be a monkey fucker. And now it has to be clarified again in case one new person listened, which by the way they probably did. I just said if I had been turned into a monkey, I would have to find a monkey mate.
But you would still be a human in a monkey body, which means you're still fucking a monkey.
Okay. I would submit this. I would be a human in a monkey body.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a monkey body and I try to fuck a human, then I'm a monkey in a human body. It's the same shit.
Oh my God. You Freuded me.
Listen, I'm not a monkey. I'm not
advocating for penetration.
I like monkeys. I think that they're fantastic creatures and they mirror humanity and they're wonderful. That's as far as it goes, sir. Please don't spread those rumors here on our podcast, which is so highly regarded by others. This is why we are where we are.
No, this is one of the parts of why we are where we are. You can't go 5 minutes without shouting a wiener. And let's not forget the year you were all about justice pubes.
I'm still about justice pubes because and I've thought about that a lot. I was victimized a lot for asking about it, but I didn't fucking draw it. It's in the Prog. It's in the fucking Prog.
When you're in a session, with a patient,
right?
Are you fully engaged, or is your brain wandering off thinking about justice pubes?
No, here's what happens. I'm fully engaged for like 8 hours a day, and then all the stupid that's left over
is on this podcast.
It just spills out onto Cursed Earth Radio.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
I will say I have to give I take away some points from this chapter of Chimsky because of the lack of growth as.
I do like that they have. We know right now that the Three Kings are a team, and I love that.
Yes,
man, these are like my three favorite, like newish characters. I think they're just so weird and endearing, and God love them for going this far.
Yeah, the fact that 2000 AD features a children's entertainer dressed like Hitler.
We're never going to get over it, man.
No, it's like getting sucker punched every week.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this isn't fucking print. I love it.
It baffles me that people are just out here going to comic book stores, buying comics, watching Marvel movies. They have no idea that they're missing the best shit, and it's in 2018.
I would put the Three Kings up against any combination of the Avengers.
Three Kings versus the Avengers.
East or West Coast. Yeah. Both coasts. Fuck it.
Force Works.
Oh, where's my Force Works movie?
Yeah. Hey, Hope had Aleister Crowley this week.
For a panel and a half.
Yeah, but I love his role in this week's episode.
I love the quip about it where he promises things and never finishes it, and I know that from miserable experience. Flaccid
promises.
So this was a psychic atom bomb, right? Some kind of metaphysical, arcane. And is it just fucking hanging in the sky now?
Yeah, I think what we're talking about there is a ghost atom bomb. It's like the ghost of an atom bomb.
And there's a coven in the shadow of this bomb where the president.
Wait.
Huh?
What?
A coven. These are all witches. It's the coven. Coven.
Yeah, it's a coven. Yeah.
Coven.
So I have to say this.
Don't put your coven in the coven.
No, listen. This is important. I forgot to say this to the show. You said coven, right? Which is reminded me of this. And rest in peace to Mike from American Movie. He passed away today. One of the two dudes who made the independent horror film Coven that they wouldn't call Coven because it sounded like oven. Love those dudes. Love that movie. Mike died today. I don't know what the circumstances were. But yeah, man, and that dude was amazing. Carry on.
Wiener. So apparently this coven, don't ever put your coven in the coven.
It depends on who you're asking.
Wields so much power that Harry S. Truman is showing up to deal with them or try to make a deal with them. And he seems fucking terrified of them.
Yeah. And he looks terrifying.
And they have the reel, which apparently must feed the magic within the reel must, as we saw last Prog, where it ate an entire fucking diner.
Yeah.
So you and I thought the first time we read Hope, first Hope we read was In the Shadows. Mm-hmm. We thought the gas mask freak lady was his wife.
His wife, yeah.
Apparently not. So who's the fucking guy? I guess I'm asking a question where we should go back and read and fucking find out.
I was pretty sure it was his wife too. The question is this some sort of, this is a prequel? Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is after.
Oh no, you're right.
Yeah.
Because this is after. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out, like, does somehow she come into, maybe he has more than one wife. I mean, he's a gumshoe detective. Maybe he has multiple wives.
I'm thinking she
Not
somehow
multiple, ex-wife.
So he's from Utah? Well, I'm thinking that she somehow was in the ethereal plane and was summoned forth into this world by some fuckery.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm sure we could find all the answers if we would just go back to read. And that's one of the things I love about 2000 AD. They don't spoon feed you shit.
Yeah.
If you like it, go read the rest of it.
Yeah. This is a cool story, man. I like that they followed up on the one prior to it because it was like interesting. And I've really grown to like Hope, and it's grim. Really, like, no fucking compromises, like nightmarish imagery. I really, really like this one. And it was like, when we first started reading, as we said last week, it was like my least favorite, but it was just because everything else was great.
Yeah.
And this is also great.
We came in on such a strong run in the Progs.
Yeah, we came in a really good time, man. If I were to recommend anybody just go back and start reading at a jump on, it would be that exact time. Because, man, we had Guatemala. They cut that kid's dick off.
Yeah, and then we had Defoe where they didn't cut that kid's dick off.
Nope, no, they did not.
Enemy Earth, man. I'm trying to keep an open mind about this because it still hasn't grabbed me, and I really don't have any tether to it yet. Of all the things they've drug out of the all ages into the main prog, this one has yet to land for me because Pandora Perfect landed. Department K landed. Didn't they bring something else over?
Man, it seems like there for a while they were no, not Intestinauts, wasn't Intestinauts came over into the real prog. I don't know.
I can't remember. This one not landing for me. I'm trying. I'm hanging on for dear life.
Yeah,
but I'm only 2 chapters in. So.
And at the beginning, I was again for a dramatic effect. I was being very harsh on this. I don't have any issues with it. Yeah, I'm the same way. Has not landed with me yet. Definitely don't find it upsetting or offensive. I think the art's cool. I think the story is like something that I feel like we've seen before. But it's chapter 2. It's going places.
Book 1.
Yeah.
So that's either they've got this plotted out or optimism.
Yeah. Now we know Hershey is plotted out.
You have yet to read Titan,
right? Yeah,
where the enchilada energy comes from.
Yes.
So actually, I got it at Pittsburgh Comics. Got the trade. That's where they find these sentient ice creatures on Titan.
Okay,
and they were able to harvest energy. A precursor to Small House and Smiley and all his fuckery.
Yeah,
because they were using the Enceladus energy to cloak themselves and to walk between walls. These things are those things.
Oh, okay.
The many-legged, spindly spider creatures.
Yes.
It makes sense because Hershey's running down Smiley's trail and all the shit he's done. And he fucked mightily with the enchilada energy.
Yeah.
And here it is at the ass end of the frozen world. I don't want Frank to get one of these things inside him in any way, shape, or form.
Frank might get a spider creature inside of him.
He's had enough done to him.
Yeah, man. Frank, do you really though think that do you think Frank gets a good end?
I just want him to go back to the low life and fight ninja babies and just live out his existence doing that fucking shit.
I wonder if we can ever go back, man. Frank is one of these characters where there really are 2 ways he could go out. Like, and the way that he probably should go out is like laying on a beach somewhere, like the end of Day of the Dead, like the pilot guys. But is that how 2000 AD is going to let him go out?
Man, when he died in the Small House, I fucking broke my heart.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's always in the back of my mind with Hershey here
is who is that?
This is a forced march to the end. This is like there's not going to be a super happy ending for Hershey.
Now this is the longest of long walks.
Yeah, and this is like it's grim. Look at the fucking color palette and the
just blue and cold and awful. And please, Lord, don't let Frank die here.
Yeah,
he deserves to go to Oz and just hang out on the beach.
Yeah, and when I met Simon Fraser, this is Simon Fraser. Yeah. When I met Simon Fraser,
I like how you just answered yourself.
At the Day of Dredd, and
all those many moons ago,
he was very kind enough to do a free sketch for me, and I was ready to pay him hundreds of dollars because I was excited. He did a nice sketch for me, and I was just asking him, I was like, what's going on? What are you doing? Anything cool? Are you doing Nikolai Dante again? Because I know that was like his big thing. And he was like, no, no more Nikolai Dante, but I'm working on something that I'm really excited about. Turned out it was Hershey. And
are you sure that's not Anderson?
No, get out of here. He has managed to really like take this story and like give it its own real like identity. This could have very easily been just drawn like a Dredd thing, color scheme wise, but it's like this is kind of like somebody's real personal, like, you know, you put all your whole stamp on it. You're not just doing a job. Like he's putting his stamp on this and making it like it's his.
Yeah.
Imagine they do Hershey, you know, another spin-off or something, and he doesn't come in. It's going to be so different and not in a good way.
Frank, if anything spins out of this, Frank gets his own story, his own series.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Dirty Frank.
I think Dirty Frank is, I think Hershey's going to die.
Well, she's already died once.
Yeah.
As is Frank. So we're 2 for 2 on dying here.
Hershey's going to real die. Dirty Frank's going to end up laying on a beach somewhere. That's the only way it could be.
Dirty Frank is without doubt one of my favorite characters in all 2080.
Yeah.
Fucking love Dirty Frank.
Yeah, that's one you really latched on to, and I think it's because it looks like your drummer.
Well, his entire interaction with the Normo Overdrive, and Sensitive Clegg, and fighting ninja babies, and being in a rock band. How could you not absolutely love Dirty Frank with all your heart?
Yeah, no, he's lived a life, man.
He is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
and we really need to cover his exploits.
I agree. Yeah, at some point.
I fucking love it. Yeah, because you can get, I think there's 4 volumes of Mega City Undercover.
Yeah.
Highly recommend them if you haven't read them out there.
This Prog was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing in here that I felt like it was a chore reading. We're still getting used to one, but yeah, man, things are looking up in the Progs right now. I really like where we're
at. It's
a
good run.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little dicey from the spring into the summer.
Yeah.
We're kind of upside down. We're like 2 for 5.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, we're like 5 for 5 today. I mean, it's just Enemy Earth is just
too new. It's too new to really pass harsh judgment on. We really need to go back and read the one Defoe we haven't read.
Yeah.
Which was not included in any of the trades yet. So I'm going to have to go buy those Progs and clip us together a PDF.
Yes. So yeah, man, we're your favorite podcast now, no doubt.
So let's ruin that.
Oh, that's right. You got a thing, right?
We're going to do a show within a show here. So the podcast, the Prog cast, my God, you should listen to those early episodes where we're fucking hard selling that before John Burtis got a hold of us. And we stopped doing that because we didn't realize he had done it before. We thought we were fucking geniuses.
Yeah, we were in the United States, man. We're the only we're the only people that thought of it here because no one knows what a Prog is.
It's you know what? It's the obvious fucking answer.
Yeah.
It fits.
And we named our show Cursed Earth Radio. If we had named it like Judge Dredd Podcast Radio, I feel like more people would discover us, but I want to be like a black metal record. I want to make it hard.
Well, I mean, we got our Mr. Grofaz.
Yeah.
So if longtime listeners may have heard us rant and rave about our podcast network, which we actually at some point want to get done, but we haven't the time, especially fucking right now. This is a miracle that we're sitting in the same room.
Yeah.
We had talked about doing a podcast called Splatter Wave, which was going to be all the non-2080 judge related stuff just shoved into its own podcast.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that because it's spooky season right now. And I fucking want to talk about Splatterhouse.
Yeah. And I always want to talk about Splatterhouse. This is a game that we were destined to love from the beginning because we were a little horror movie watching, going to the VHS rental place and getting stuff we weren't supposed to, kids. And even into adulthood, I think one thing that we've bonded over, one of the many things, has been our love for this game and its art design. And we've spent many hours together playing this game and being frustrated. And man.
It's so I've always, and I'm sure you're kind of the same way. I've always had a thing for the underdog stuff, the hard to find stuff, the not mainstream stuff, the offshoot stuff.
Yeah.
So while all my friends were Nintendo kids, I was a fucking Sega Genesis kid because that system had all the arcade shit.
Yeah.
And it had the cool stuff that I wanted. There was no fucking Mario. I didn't give a shit about Sonic, but it had Ultra Beast.
Yeah.
You know, and when I started seeing advertisements for the Turbo Graphics over there in the UK, it's the PC Engine. They kept the same name it had in Japan.
Yeah.
Turbo Graphics is super North American 90s cool. Like that.
It was a name designed to fool kids.
GRAFX graphics.
Yeah. There was a time when anything you put 2000 on was cool.
Yeah.
And prior to that time, anything that you spelled wrong was cool.
Extreme with an X.
Oh shit.
And no E.
Yeah.
So I remember reading video game magazines and comic books from 1988, 89, right when this country, the HMK and I are in, was starting to get the Turbo Graphics. They were starting to bring it over. And it was just an ad across the bottom of the page. They're just blood, just white field, and just fucking blood splatter. Mm-hmm. You turn the page and it had the Splatterhouse logo.
Yeah.
And it said, coming exclusively to the Turbo Graphics. And I went, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I need it.
So was that your first encounter with a Splatterhouse? And if anybody hasn't seen it, Splatterhouse is somebody saw Jason Voorhees and said, we should take that and make a video game out of it so that American kids will think that they're playing a Friday the 13th game. We made him the hero. So you've got dude in like overall like hospital scrubs running around with a meat cleaver or a board killing zombies, and it's amazing. But
just fucking literally splattering them. And this is 1988, so Mortal Kombat hasn't happened yet. This is one of the first gory video games, and there's like ones that like coming out of the 70s into the 80s. And there's a torture chamber or some shit, Death Race, which was laughable.
Yeah, this
was like you could hit shit and they fucking exploded.
And so your first encounter of this was on console, because I may have I don't know exactly what year or how it went down, but I'll tell you how I discovered this game. And it was I want to say it was a Little Caesars Pizza. It was a pizza shop in Cleveland, Ohio. And I remember going in. I was old enough to go in and pick up the pizza, but I remember the boxes were big. So I don't know. I'm walking in to get the pizza and I look over and I see this dedicated arcade cabinet, which I would later find out is kind of like not a very common thing.
They're super rare.
Yeah. And it's sitting in this pizza shop. And I remember not having any quarters to play it, but walking over to it and just being like, that's a Jason game. And I was transfixed, and I made a vow that day I was coming back the next day to play it. And I never did.
See, I never saw an arcade cabinet. Here in Morgantown, West Virginia, we were the ass end of everything.
Yeah.
So by the time we got it, everybody else was already tired of it.
Yeah.
It's like when the nerdy suburban kids start using hip hop slang. By the time those kids start saying it, it's fucking played out.
It's not cool anymore. Yeah.
So I saw the advertisements for Splatterhouse, and they had shots of the Japanese version of the game, because in the Japanese version, Rick still has a white mask.
Yeah.
And when they brought it over to America, they turned the mask purple to avoid lawsuits.
Which for me is my favorite version.
You like the purple mask?
I love the purple mask because I'm sure the arcade cabinet was the white mask.
Yeah.
But when I finally got to play it, of course, I got to play it on TurboGrafx 16. And for some reason, that's where all my nostalgia is at. Obviously, with the first one you get to play.
Oh, yeah. Like I didn't acquire TurboGrafx until way later. So this was 1990.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get one for another 11 years. Like 2001, the local mom and pop shop Vintage Video got one in, and it had a copy of Splatterhouse. And I went, I want that. I don't fucking care how much it is.
Yeah.
Before that, I would feverishly read about Splatterhouse. Couldn't play it. In 1992, Splatterhouse 2 came to the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
That's my jam right there. That is my fucking game. Every October, I sit down and I will grind through Splatterhouse on the TurboGrafx, Splatterhouse 2 on the Sega Genesis. Fucking love that game.
Splatterhouse 2, was I think for the United States, people that know Splatterhouse started with Splatterhouse 2. And I know a lot of people who've played Splatterhouse 2, Splatterhouse 3 have never managed to get their hands on the original until these little TurboGrafx minis came out. And
well, I mean, on the Nintendo Wii, you could buy the TurboGrafx Splatterhouse on that.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
So that's
that. Yeah.
I had my TurboGrafx, sold my TurboGrafx because needed money.
Sure.
Got the Wii, and I saw it in the store. Went fucking purchase that game, and Dracula X are why my Wii is still hooked up to the TV in the living room.
Yeah. So I remember like trying to beat Splatterhouse 2. And I got it because it was the same deal, man. It's like same deal as an obscure horror film. You hear about it, you see glimpses, you chase it your whole life.
Super gory, violent video game.
Yeah. When I got Splatterhouse 2, I'm not a good gamer. I suck at video games.
You beat me in Primal Rage once. And Pit Fighter.
It's my claim to fame. But I'll tell you what, man, I couldn't get through Splatterhouse 2. And so even to this day, I don't think I've ever beaten it.
I can sleepwalk through that game. I've beaten it so much.
I have since gone back and played lots and lots of hours worth of the original Splatterhouse, and really that's the one that I continue to go back to. Did you play Splatterhouse 3?
Oh yeah. Have you ever?
Yeah, I have, and once again, it was one of those things where I was excited to get it. And that's a really fucking hard game.
It's a much tougher game because you got branching paths, and then you have alternate endings where, if you don't get to Jennifer first quick enough, she's fucking dead.
Yeah.
And if you don't get to your son, he's fucking dead. There's the really bad ending where everybody fucking dies. There's an ending where you save your son, but Jennifer dies. There's an ending where you save Jennifer, but your son dies. And then there's a super happy ending where you save everybody and punch the darkness back into hell.
Splatterhouse 3, as a game, like as I look at it now, like as an adult having played it, it's really cool. It's really innovative. Like it feels fresh, but at the same time, something's missing. And it's because it's got that final fight, sort of like, you're moving back and forth trying to line up your hits with the enemies, like a final fight deal. Mm-hmm. And for me, I just want to walk sideways and smash things. Yeah.
And you get the branching paths in Splatterhouse 3. They up the gore. Like as the enemies get weaker, they start oozing pus and their faces fall the fuck off. And you can mutate. You can get power orbs and turn into Super Rick and fucking just tear people in half. I still love that game. It's a hard game, man. I used to have it mapped out to where I could save everybody.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. I will always go back and play those games. Then they had the remake in 2010.
And I was going to bring that up too, because I don't know, like I don't hear many people talk about the remake, but
it kind of came out under the radar.
Was it like at the tail end of PS2 or
it was the tail end of PS3, Xbox 360?
PS3. Okay.
I picked it up for the 360. I think it's still over there on that shelf. It was the controls are fucking wonky because they put it into that 3D space.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awkward, but they had the side scrolling sections. I've never beaten that one because the last time I played it, my game glitched and I got stuck and couldn't pass.
Yeah.
So I need to go back and play that one. But it was that game, like everybody knew Mortal Kombat. But Splatterhouse was a game where you had to like know the secret knock or know somebody who knew it and could get you in the club.
Yeah.
So many nights at 2 a.m, all the lights out in the house, just fucking grinding on Splatterhouse.
Yeah. I remember with regards to the Splatterhouse remake, being like the super excited about it, doing the pre-order at GameStop as if there weren't going to be enough. We
only got half a copy.
You're just asking every week, when is Splatterhouse coming out? Because I was just so super excited. From what I remember, I thought it was awesome. Like I remember playing it, loving it. Had a heavy metal soundtrack.
Yeah, what you need.
It had lots of profanity. The mask was real like snarky, and I can't remember. They got a kind of a famous actor to play the mask.
Pick up naked photos of your girlfriend.
You could everything that a teenage boy could ever want.
I was 25.
What ended up happening though, I remember like I got to a point in the game where there was some sort of game-breaking bug.
Mm-hmm. Similar thing happened to me.
I could not finish it, and I never went back to restart. But what it does have that's fucking cool, 2 things. Number one is it's a God of War clone. But within that, every once in a while, it goes from God of War clone to a side-scrolling action game where you get like almost an updated version of Splatterhouse. I lived for those. And I also, the other thing about it was on the game itself, you unlocked the original games.
You could get 1, 2, and 3 in there.
Yeah. So to me, Splatterhouse is like an incredible, like that version of Splatterhouse, just if you're a fan of it, because I feel like they recognize like, this is a game that's hard to get a hold of. This is a game with a lot of like, kind of like really rabid fans. And so they put a lot of stuff in there. I've heard it be criticized. It had lots of bugs, but I found that game to be great.
I think all the fans of the series all loved it.
Yeah.
Because it was fan service.
Yeah.
Did you know that the Splatterhouse 3 that's in that collection is edited?
No.
Yeah. For some legal reason, something with the motion, the digital actors in Splatterhouse 3, they had to replace all those scenes.
Oh, wow.
With Jennifer, with the son. That awesome. And Splatterhouse 3 has one of the greatest fucking intros ever. Because it was 1993 and Mortal Kombat had brought digitized graphics into everywhere.
Yeah.
And they got somebody to suit up as Rick with the Splatterhouse 3's Terror Mask is my favorite because it's super sculpted and super stylized. And it's just fucking flickering lights and the blood and the silhouette of Rick with the eyes are just red.
Yeah.
And then you see him. And I fucking love that intro. It breaks my heart that it's not in Splatterhouse 2010 because that's part of the atmosphere that 90s atmosphere of digitized graphics and the Genesis color palette that wasn't as good as the Super Nintendo's, but man, it was fucking great.
Have you ever played or fucked around with Wampaku Graffiti, which was the I guess over there was a Super Famicom. It would be the Famicom game that came out as a precursor.
Right? I was actually watching auctions on eBay today for it because I've always wanted to add it to my collection. Yeah, because they're doing repo carts now that'll run in North American Nintendos.
Yeah.
I've never played it. I've seen footage of it and I have to have it.
Yeah.
Because I have to have all things Splatterhouse.
Sure.
Man, I'm glad I got my copies of 2 and 3 when I got them for the Sega Genesis. Those things are fetching $200-$300 now.
It's crazy.
Even Splatterhouse 2010 is up to 50 and 60.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's maybe we're getting ready to see resurgence. And it has been making kind of like rearing its ugly head in certain places because Unbox Industries, which is one of the great fucking toy companies if you like real like nice high-end vinyl toys.
One of my great regrets.
Yeah, because Unbox Industries they did a Rick, then they did a Bloody Rick, then they did a Splatterhouse
they did Jennifer,
Pink Mask Rick, Monster Jennifer. They did all the enemies. They did the giant head.
Pizza Man.
Man. Yeah.
Does he not look like pizza?
Yeah, and they did Biggie Man, who is one of the most unfortunately like translation error named characters ever. He clearly is a giant mutant with a burlap sack on his head and 2 chainsaws
for hands.
Biggie Man.
Who would win in a fight? Biggie Man or Ash from Evil Dead?
I feel like Ash would win.
I think Biggie Man. He's got 2 fucking chainsaws.
Yeah, but if you need to do anything that requires a thumb, Biggie Man's fucked.
Yeah, but murder don't require no thumb.
What if you need to open a door?
How do you think he scratches his itches?
I have no idea. He can't even see. I don't think he has.
That's why he's so mad he can't jerk off. He's got chainsaw hands.
Yeah. Speaking of just very like minimally connected to this, if you're talking about Jason Voorhees analogs in games, Ninja Gaiden.
Oh yeah. Was it the first boss you fight, right? That would be second. He's Bomberhead.
Yeah. AKA fake Jason.
Yep. I mean, your game wasn't shit unless it had some kind of analog Jason.
Yeah.
There was a DC character called Wild Dog in the late 70s, early 80s. Actually, early 80s, because it was after the hockey mask, who had a hockey mask. That was his thing.
Oh, wow.
But it was one of the 70s hockey masks, the big fucking bulky ones.
Yeah.
The one that Clark Griswold has coming out of the garage.
Yeah, I love those.
It's like, fuck God, I just want to sit down here and play Splatterhouse all night now.
Yeah. And I want to throw this out there too, man. I have a good friend named Charlie Ocala, and he is an indie horror director. And I pulled up his Splatterhouse fan film that he did in 2011 here on YouTube. You can go check it out. It's the page is Black Drink Productions at Charlie_Ocala, OSCEOLA. Man, this guy was like, I'm gonna go shoot a Splatterhouse fan film.
I'm glad somebody did.
He got a big muscle bound friend. He built all the monsters. Like he explained to me how they did the monsters and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, man, we had nothing to work with. Like we just did it." And it's a worthwhile 3-minute ish film. And he also has done some other cool short films and stuff. So definitely check it out, because when you're a Splatterhouse fan, man, there's not a lot out there, and there's not a lot of quality out there. And this is a real super quality. I wish he had more money and time to make a more like long-term version of this.
And that's the problem with Splatterhouse. If you make a film, everyone's going to be like, why are they making a new Friday the 13th?
Yeah. That's the thing, man. They copied, and now they're stuck. Be kind of rough. Yeah.
I've been trying to get a terror mask for my collection of various bullshits. No one's really making terror masks, because I want the Splatterhouse 3 one, the super stylized one, and I can't find shit. There was
definitely a point in time where I was at some horror convention. I think we played a horror convention, and there was somebody selling them, and I was tempted, but it was one of those things where I said, I'll never hang that up in my house. And now I would.
I made us mask boxes with that. Spirit Halloween put out a mask called the Ice Rink Raider, and I'll be goddamned if it doesn't look like the terror mask.
Yeah, definitely the terror mask. Yeah, man.
And hell, we had fucking Splatterhouse play the Halloween show 3 years ago.
Yeah, there's a couple great Splatterhouse bands, man. You can check out Splatterhouse. I think they're from Brooklyn, New York, the guys that played with us, and they're almost like a hardcore punk band, and their drummer actually wears a generic hockey mask. They're not a gimmick band really, though. They're just kind of like some
who would be in a gimmick band?
Crusty punk dudes. Awesome band. And then aside from that, if you go back a little bit further in time, you've got a really, really titanic grindcore band called Splatterhouse, one word. And they it's an incredible forgotten band that nobody talks about, but worth checking out as well.
So if you have means to, if you have a Nintendo Switch, the Namco Museum is on there. You can get that, and it has the arcade perfect port of the original Splatterhouse arcade game, unedited, because in Japan and in the arcades, you fight, I think it's the 4th stage boss, which is a floating upside down cross surrounded by severed heads. In North America, it just became a Jolly Rancher.
And that is why when anybody asks me about, what my favorite game is, I say Splatterhouse. It's my favorite video game.
It's fucking, I can play it all day.
Yeah.
Well, I can't sit down and play 3 all day because it takes too long.
Yeah.
1 and 2, that's just good, dirty fun.
Yeah, man. So that was an episode of Splatterwave.
Yeah, that was ish.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about Splatterhouse being in October.
Yeah, spooky season. Why not? Yeah.
And so read Judge Dredd, play Splatterhouse, and you want to do it?
Yeah. Happy birthday, Jake Lynch. You're a favorite artist. Thank you for being a good friend. And I hope when you open your birthday cake, open that box,
open the birthday cake,
and you're getting ready to blow something out.
Oh no.
Instead of candles, instead of 50 candles, all you get is one great big wiener.